Hi, friends. So, as you may know, if you've been around here for any length of time, I'm an extremely goals oriented person. My whole channel started with me tracking the goal of paying off $33,000 worth of debt. And in the decade since then, I have shared with you my wins and fails of personal, professional, financial, and other goals. One of my not so secrets is that to track these and to keep them front of mind is that I like to make vision boards, and not just the kind where you might like cut stuff out of magazines and put it on a poster paper or something like that. I make digital ones and I make them into my computer and phone lock screens. This helps me keep them in front of my face and not completely forget about them by February. A few years ago, I even further gamified this system by turning my vision boards into bingo boards with the ultimate goal of hitting bingos and blacking out the board. This year has been no different, except that I have been murdering my goals this year. So, as it's currently a little past halfway through the year, let's check in on my 2025 personal, financial, and other goals and my bingo board to see how I'm doing, where I have already smashed it, what I might want to swap out, which is legal, and what all I've accomplished so far this year. I did do a video introducing these goals in January of this year that also went over my wins and fails of my goals for the previous year. I will link that down below. And if you would like any of the templates, and I have a ton of these for my different vision board and bingo board templates for online that are editable, they're in Canva, easy open share. I will have that article on budgetgirl.com linked below too, along with all the instructions and stuff. And by the way, it is never too late to set goals. Just because we're at the middle of the year doesn't mean that this year is over for you. You can always start new goals. You could do an end of the year sprint for some stuff that you're doing. And also a reminder that a lot of the things that I've put on my vision boards over the years have taken years to get done or to come to fruition. The point is moving forward. Even at a snail's pace, progress is progress. So let's start with the goals that I've already completed for this year. I'm going to start with some silly goals that I actually don't think are that silly. Yes, your goals list and your vision board should include things that will help you grow as a person, help you grow in your community, financially, etc. But a couple should just be for fun and because you want to. A couple years ago, I had put on my goals list that I wanted to get another ear piercing, and that was painful, but it kind of helped me get it. And I really like my dual ear piercings now. They're fun. I like having multiple little studs. So the first goal of 2025 that I've completed is to try Tang Hulu. Now I saw this at first on TikTok and I looked around to see if they had it anywhere near me. And I think Houston was the closest, but I kept sharing the videos with Jacob and he was like, I can learn how to make that. And he did. So he made it for me early this year and it was delicious. I liked it. It was very sugary, but it was so good. I love the crunch. Next is to try more cheese, which is one of my favorite goals. I love cheese. I love trying new foods. Jacob, once again, got me a cheese board with some cheeses I'd never tried before for Valentine's Day. I love them, some of them. Blueberry Wensleydale is not something I would have tried on my own, but is absolutely delicious. I'm obsessed. I think expanding your palate is a perfectly legitimate goal, and that fun goals make life fun. Next, some craft and kind of community goals that I've accomplished. First is I had on here that I wanted to make over a little free library box, or a little metal box that I had into a little free library. And not only did I do that, I've now made 2 additional little free libraries in addition to the one that was on the goal board. One is right there. It is about to be installed at a local photography studio. You can't quite tell here, but I'll put it in a picture. It's camera themed and it's going to a photography studio. The owner has dubbed it Cami, and it's going to be a great addition to a local market in Bryan, Texas. And I also have some short form videos that I've done on making that over. I also did a long form video on making over the other 2 that I did that are now in my yard at duplex number 2. And I will link that below. It was great. I really enjoyed doing that. And I love the creative aspect of both making something that is destined for the trash over into something useful and providing free books for the community. It's a big love of mine. So wins all around. I actually have another box that I found. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I don't know if I'm quite ready to take it on because it is quite a bit of work, but I have it. And so that will come to fruition eventually as well. Next in projects, I also had a yard project at my new duplex that I wanted to do. I pretty much had to completely tear out the yard when I bought the place because people had been using it for like car repair, and there was oil and there was glass and there were all these bottle caps and everything like that. I fenced it in, I ruttered, whatever it is. I tore up the whole yard on both sides, tried to grow grass on it. There wasn't a lot of curb appeal. But in March, I actually utilized the big event, which is a Texas A&M student service project where they go around to the local community and help them with like yard work. It's not need-based, it's just for anybody. And I've used them a couple of times before, but they came and they stained my new fence, which is huge, and it would have taken me many weekends to do. And they also helped me do some mulching and some planting of some rose bushes. And now my yard is beautiful. I have so much more curb appeal. And all it took was 12 youths to come help me on a Saturday. Absolutely phenomenal. It didn't cost me a thing other than obviously like the supplies. And I also like bought them lunch and everything like that. That is one project that made a huge, huge difference to the way the new duplex looks. It kind of completed it. And I think it also probably improved the home value as well. Next, I also had a goal to start journaling again, and I've been doing that. My little green journal is right there, journaling on about a weekly basis. This channel and my like social media accounts have kind of turned into a bit of a journal for me over the past years, but there's something about being able to be like so honest in such like a private space that I missed a lot. I always journaled as a kid, and I've been enjoying doing that again. I like going back and looking at my old journals too to kind of see what mindset I was in a very like raw way. So doing that, and it's going well. Next, let's talk about financial and career goals that I've hit so far this year. First on the board was a $300,000 net worth, which I hit earlier this year. It's taken like years of hustle to get here, and it's been slow going at first, but going a little bit faster now, which is very exciting. On a similar note, I also was trying to get to 100K invested across like my retirements, brokerages, everything like that. And I did that just last month. I didn't start investing until I was out of debt, and I've been kind of playing catch up ever since. Obviously, like time, the earlier you invest, the more time that compound interest is going to have to grow and your wealth is going to be able to grow. So I've been trying to put in as much as I can. I maxed out my work contribution. I fully maxed out my Roth IRA, and recently, as of my most recent job move, I've been putting $500 a month into a investment brokerage account. So I'm starting to see that go a little nicely. And then finally, as I kind of foreshadowed, I had a secret goal that I didn't want to talk about publicly at the beginning of the year, but it was to get a new job. And I did it. I made the move in April, and I went from being a marketing and communications manager in the College of Architecture at Texas A&M to now being an assistant director of marketing and communications in the office of the executive vice president and provost. Now, I'm still kind of getting my feet wet with this job, but everyone has been absolutely wonderful, and I'm really liking the work. The raise from $72,000 up to $87,000 doesn't hurt either. That's very nice. And I'm really excited for what's ahead in this role. So next, let's talk about my goals that are in progress. So first, on-time budgets and net worth updates. I've been consistently posting my monthly budgets and net worth reports every month, but this is one that I'm not going to be able to mark complete until the end of the year when I've done it for all 12 months. That said, so far so good. And then also volunteer 20 hours. I have 16 of 20 hours completed so far, and I have no doubt that I will be able to meet this goal, if not exceed it. I hadn't been really tracking how many hours I had been volunteering in previous years, so I kind of think I set myself a little bit of a low bar, but that's okay. Especially with the new job, my time's a lot less flexible, so it's good that I didn't overcommit to this, because a lot of the therapy dog events are during like working hours, and I can't always get away. And when you're new in a new job, that's not when you want to be trying to flex time all the time. So I do volunteer with my dog Stella with an organization called Aggieland Pets with a Purpose. We're also planning on getting Rosie certified. That's actually happening this weekend as I film it, so hopefully she passes. If we can get her certified in August, then that'll be even more opportunities, and it'll also allow both me and Jacob to go serve at the same time with two different dogs, because right now it's either me or him. Now he volunteers with Stella a ton. He goes to the hospital really regularly, and he volunteers with her on campus every Tuesday. So he has logged probably 100 hours this year, if not many more than that. He does it a lot more and he's amazing. And next, also dog related, one of my more fun goals is to pet more dogs. At the beginning of the year, I didn't set a number of dogs that I wanted to meet and pet, but I have since done that. I want to meet and pet at least 100 dogs this year. And I'm at 70, which is not bad, especially since like during the summer, it's a little bit harder to find dogs to pet. This is my favorite goal of the year, by the way. I enjoy like looking around and looking for animals to try to meet. Now, I'm not going up to like service dogs or anything, but when other people have their animals out, I go up and ask if I can like interact with their animal and meet them and learn about them and everything like that. And that has been so fun. I've been keeping a notes app log on my phone of the name of the dog type, where I met them and what date it was. And this just makes my life a little better. It's free. Our dogs don't count, by the way, and repeats don't count. I just want to meet more dogs. It brings me so much joy. And if you are looking for a more fun goal to have, then may I suggest either cheese or dogs. I also have some goals that I am not quite crushing yet or not doing so great on. The first is to stretch most days. That's not going great. That needs work. Next, plan my wedding. So I do have a dress, and I did a couple of videos about shopping for it as a plus size bride with like no places in town and no experience wedding dress shopping. Obviously, I did get a deal on it, by the way. I ended up purchasing it secondhand, and that's close to as far as we've gotten. We have rings, so that's good, but we are planning like a tiny destination wedding. And despite that probably being more of like an all-inclusive thing, we haven't quite picked where we want to go yet. It's a little overwhelming to try to choose from all of these places and where and what's going to be the best experience. It's a little overwhelming, but we'll get there. And then also quit procrastinating. I was having an issue filling the board this time in January. Mixed results. Some days I'm an absolute machine. Other days I put it off. Next, I've decided to swap out a couple of goals. So some of these, they're just not going to happen. Like my floss daily. Nope. I've been trying to develop a flossing habit since 2020. I floss more than I used to, which used to be 0, but I do not floss daily. I have decided to swap this with getting some fillings replaced. I have 3 fillings in my mouth that my dentist says need to be replaced. I didn't know that fillings supposedly only last like 5 to 10 years, but I really, 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 really hate the dentist. I've had some real bad experiences at the dentist, and I have some trauma, and even just like thinking about getting injections and the drilling inside my head makes me want to cry. So I have a lot of anxiety about that. So I am going to attempt to put this on my goals list in the hopes that it will make me want to like strike it off enough that I will do it and not put it off, because I've been putting it off a little bit. I mean, my teeth aren't hurting me or anything, and they're in overall good condition, but I really hate it. I really, 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 really hate it. And I know, suck it up, Sarah, go to the dentist, but I really, really hate it. And no one's holding a gun to my head making me do it. So I'm trying to motivate myself to do it this way. I hate it so much. I can't. Hopefully putting it on my goals list will help me suck it up. Next, I'm also going to switch out organized digital life, which I'm actually doing like okay with. I know where my stuff is, to do my taxes. And I actually mentioned this at the beginning of the year. I still didn't do it. So I'm putting it on my goals list. I'm really behind. I had to switch tax guys. I really like my old tax guy. I don't like my new tax guy. And so I've been putting off. I need a new tax guy. I know I'm going to face some fees. It's not to like Sarah's going to go to jail because she didn't do her taxes yet. I've got the money set aside. I don't want to do it. So yell at me in the comments. It's fine. Accountability works. I'm going to do it. I'm putting on the list so that I will be further motivated to get it off. I do think about it almost every day. It's probably not going to be that bad. I just need to do it. Putting things on my goals list that I have to look at every day is just being able to check them off I'm hoping will provide the motivation to just sit down and get it done instead of literally anything else that I would rather do. Except for the dentist. I would rather do my taxes than go to the dentist. Okay, and then finally I have a question for you guys. I'm considering swapping one more of my other kind of more vague goals, like stop procrastinating, with my reading challenge. Now, I don't usually put this on my like goals list because it's more of a pleasure hobby, and I'm not necessarily like pushing myself to accomplish like an X amount. I read a lot. I generally read around 100 books a year, if not more. A lot of them are kind of brain candy books. Not all of them are like super thinkers, but I do really enjoy reading. And I did notice, because I have Kindle Unlimited, so it tracks how many books I read. I've currently read 80 books this year so far. So I think I'm going to hit my like normal 100 book goal. Should I put that on my goals list, because it's kind of like a layup, or should I put it on my goals list and increase the amount? I don't know. Tell me what you think below. I could probably do 150. Like, I don't even think that'd be much of a stretch. I've also been reading a lot of audiobooks lately. So Audible offered me like a free 3-month membership. I just have to, it's on my calendar to cancel. And so I'm doing some of those, and they have a lot of books in their like free library too. There's a small chance that if I like switch out procrastinating with the book, that I could get a blackout, which is also attractive to me. I also, as I'm going throughout the year, try to think of like some kind of goals to have on deck for the next year. And that way in January, I'm not like scrambling, trying to just think of things to put on a board that I may or may not really be committed to. But I do have a couple of on deck goals that I have written down. One is to learn to drive stick. Jacob has a Japanese mini truck now, and it's a manual. I don't know how to drive a manual. My Girl Scout heart makes me think that I should be able to drive a manual, if for no other reason than because we own a manual car. And like, what if there's suddenly a really good furniture deal and I can't fit it into my hatchback, though real rare I can't fit something into my hatchback, and he's not available and I need to go get it. I want to be able to drive the mini truck. So like, yeah, I can change a tire. I can sheetrock stuff. Why can't I drive a stick? It's just because I've never learned. So we're going to stick that on the life skills list to learn for 2026. And then also get married and maybe buy another property. I don't know. That's very TBD. So those are my 2025 goals, where I am at them, kind of how we're coming along, things that I still need to do. I think we're on a really good target for this year, personally, for me. I don't think I've ever been this close to like accomplishing all my goals before for a year. Usually, we hit a few. It's very much like a shoot for the moon, land among the stars kind of thing. But I don't think I've ever potentially been at like blackout level for goals. That's kind of exciting and a little scary. I don't know. Do you think I'm going to make it? Tell me the truth, though. Tell me the truth. There's a good chance I'll still be procrastinating this dental stuff in January. All right. And finally, I am so dang close to 100,000 subscribers. Now, this is not the type of thing that I generally put on a goals list, because I can't really control it. I mean, I can put out more content. I can try to put out better content, but I can't control what the algorithm's going to do or how many people are going to be interested in things that I have to say. And I've been in the 98,000 subscriber purgatory for like the last 2+ years, but it's finally starting to move upward again. I'm at like 99.2 as I'm filming this. So there's a chance we could get there this year. Now, I'm not putting it on the board, but if you wanted to be part of that like kind of new secret goal of mine, I would be personally very honored. If we're being completely honest, I really want the shiny YouTube button, that 100K subscriber plaque. I've been doing this for 10 years. I want the plaque. I do. I want it. I can visualize me having it. I would put it like right there in this house. I've visualized where I would put it in every house I've lived in for the last 10 years. So subscribe if you would like. I am rooting for you and your personal goals and your financial journey either way. But if you would like to join the Slightly Unhinged party, I would be absolutely honored to have you. And I would really like the plaque. I want it real bad. So please tell me about your 2025 goals below. I would love to help root for you and them. Tell me what you think of mine and kind of how we're going. What's going great with yours? What is flopping? What are you going to swap out? Swapping out is legal. You're allowed to change your goals anytime, any place. Drop a comment below. Tell me about it and we will cheer each other on. Okay. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.